Over the last months, I've 10x'd my output as a developer building software and apps thanks to AI. This is exactly how I've done it. The current stack that I use to code with AI is Cursor and Cloud Code. There's a lot of discussions about whether one or the other is better. I think at the end of the day, it's just a preference. You can try both, pick the one you like the most. I personally prefer Cursor because I just prefer the user experience, but it's up to you. Then you can use ChatGPT for more high level questions, maybe design questions that you try to lay out exactly how something is going to look, or maybe you're trying to research about good practices or some API documentations. I believe it's still ChatGPT is the best option for that. I also use Opal, which is a website blocker. I'll go into that in a second, and also Brain F for the music that I listen to while I work. One of the most important things you need to know when building with AI is that you need to prompt it in different ways depending on the thing that you are building. There's generally two different scenarios that you may face. One of them is you're building something very general, like for example, something like a new page. It's not very technically complicated. You're just adding some UI aspects, maybe some cards, some buttons, some forms. You're calling an API to update the database, whatever. That's like the simple things that is great for. And then there's other cases when you're building something that is technically harder and where a logic mistake can have bad consequences. Maybe it deletes data from your users, or maybe there's a privacy concern that you don't want, or maybe it just breaks a feature that you're trying to build. So whether you're working on one of these features or the other type of features, you need to look into how you prompt in completely different ways. For example, let's say you're building a new page for a SaaS and you are not super sure exactly what the layout is going to be, or the copy, or how the buttons are going to look. You just kind of have a rough estimate of the thing you want. The way I will go about it is just write a first prompt where you ask the AI to generate this new page with a general guidance of the things you want. But you can also let the AI just kind of throw some stuff at you after you've done that. Play around with the layout. So ask the AI to change the layout of the different sections until it fits right. And once that is done, you can start changing the UI of the different sections in the page of whatever way you want. You want to change the background or remove it, or change whatever. Just get into specific UI things. Just ask for it in a normal way. There's no reason to write like Shakespeare here or try to make an essay. The AIs are great at understanding what you want, even if your writing is not great. So don't over focus on that. So this is case number one. Case number two is something more complicated. Like for example, let's say you're building a webhook that connects with the Meta API to store user conversation from Instagram. If you do something wrong here, you could be losing data for your users. You could be breaking this feature. It would break the whole purpose of your SaaS. So it's really important that you fully understand what the logic is here. You can't just ask the AI to build it, not understand how anything works, and understand what the logic of the webhook or the API you're building is, and then just hope everything is going to be fine. Eventually, you're going to get a situation where something breaks, people complain, you lose data, whatever, things that you don't want. Obviously, at the end of the day, that's always going to happen. It's a matter of balancing risk and reward. So the way I will go about it in this situation is I would first ask the AI to help me plan the logic for the webhook, the workflow, the API, whatever. So I would suggest what I think the workflow should be, and then I would talk with it until I've defined a logic flow that makes sense. Then I would ask the AI to build that flow. Once that is done, I would review what the AI has done, because sometimes the AI is very confident and it tells you it has done A, Y, C, when in reality it has done X, Y, Z. So you need to make sure that the code that is written actually makes sense. You probably have to change a couple of things here and there. You can also do it yourself or ask the AI to do so. Just make sure you actually understand what is going on here and vibe code it as much as you can vibe code the other scenario. So this is also very important. Once that is done, you can also use AI to find edge case in your logic. So there's always going to be things that you didn't think of things user could do, or type of data that you could get that could break the logic that you have. So it's a great idea to ask the AI to also see if it can find gaps in the logic that you missed as well. That's also a great use of Claude or of Cursor, all that stuff. And secondly, it is very important that when you want to code something, even if it's with or without AI, you get in the zone. So you get into the flow state. It doesn't matter how much leverage you get from AI. If you do not manage to focus on the task you have in front of you, you are never going to accomplish as much as you could do in the period of time that you're using. You're never going to be as productive as you could be. And I believe this makes even a bigger difference than the leverage you can get from AI. So it's very important that you think of working as a ritual that you need to follow. You need to follow certain rules so you can allow yourself to get into the flow state, to get into the zone, and get into that period of time where things just flow and your brain is fully focused on the task, where time just goes by and you really get valuable work done. So this is what I do. Obviously, different people do different things. You just gotta try different things and figure out exactly what the best approach is for you. But for me, there's 4 things that I do. I block all distractions. So going back to the page before, I use Allpol to block any page that could be distracting: YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, whatever. I block notifications so I don't get distracted by things like that, emails, all that stuff. I use headphones so I can listen to music and block the noise from outside. And if you get distracted by the smell of food in your kitchen or whatever, just go somewhere else. Then I remove any temptations. Very importantly, your phone. You cannot work with your phone at hand's length. You cannot even see your phone. Personally, I like to put my phone inside of my backpack or inside of my PC folder, whatever, and just put it in another room, just so it's very far away from me. I cannot see it with my eyes, and the steps that it would take me to go and pick it up are so high that I just don't do it. If your phone is on your desk, you are going to check it and it's going to break your flow. It's very important that you do this. And other examples are, you're working next to your bed, you're always going to have the thought of, I could just lay in bed right now. So it's a good idea to do that. Personally, I get my best work when I'm outside my house, so or a co-working or a place that's kind of quiet that is outside my house. Because at my house, I always feel the temptation to just, lay in bed, whatever, not work. But if I'm outside my house, that doesn't happen. So you also remove that idea from your brain. Next, it's very important to choose the thing you listen to very carefully. I would not recommend listening to a podcast or music with lyrics or music that you like too much, because you're going to get distracted. You're going to start listening to the music, enjoying the music too much, which is obviously good to enjoy things, but it's going to take you away from that zone, from that focus that you want to get. So personally, I found that the best things to listen to are beats on 44 hertz, which that's what Brain FM is for. You can also listen to white noise, brown noise. All those things were great for me. So it really removes all the noise from outside and helps my brain focus on the task they have in hand. It's also important that you're comfortable. If your back hurts because you're sitting down with terrible posture or your chair is terrible, it's gonna be hard to stay there for multiple hours. So just make sure that you're somewhere that's actually comfortable. This is quite easy to do, but also skipped sometimes, and it has a basic effect. And then finally, this is very specific to me. I don't know if other people also have this, but I found that I am only able to focus on tasks for multiple hours productively if I see sunlight. So if I'm looking at a wall in a room with no windows, my brain just gets too depressed to work after a couple hours. I just feel like I need to get outside. So being in a room with big windows or working next to a window, things like that, personally really helped me, not only with my mood, but also with my focus and the ability to work for longer periods of time as well. If you want to get full access to the document that I'm showing right now, you can get it completely for free in the link down below.